Hi, my name is Amy Pavlina, and this is video 2 in our series to unpack the lesson Unit 4, Day 1, Unit Launch, Articles of Confederation, Grade 4, Passport to Social Studies. So in my last video, I said that some students are going to need some access to the vocabulary words of query, as well as estrangement in the video. And this strategy that I'm going to show you, how to create your own Frere model for Jamboard, it's also going to be helpful for some of your students who may need this for an actual article of confederation. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up a new tab, and we're going to do this by going up to a new tab, and then we're going to click on our waffle and open up our drive. Once you're in your drive, you're going to click on slides, and it'll take you to options to create new slides. You're just going to create a new blank slide. Now that you're on here, you want to get rid of any of the boxes, the text boxes, because you're going to make your own template and organizer to help aid students' understanding. So once it's highlighted blue, you could just hit backspace and it'll delete, or you could hit delete, it'll delete. And now I have a nice blank template. Round template, you're going to go up to File, and down to Page Setup to make sure that you're in widescreen 16:9 ratio. And just click Apply. And now I have this beautiful blank canvas to work with to make my template. So I'm going to go up to Insert, Table, and I want 4 boxes because the Frere model has 4 boxes. Now it kind of looks so small. I'm going to go and pull this up to the top corner of my page. And I'm just going to pull it all the way to my bottom right-hand corner. And now you can see my boxes are much larger. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my first box, and I'm going to click Fill Color, and I'm going to choose a nice light color, and it could be any color I want. I'm going to do this for each of my boxes, choosing a different light color for each box. If you have a specific way to do vocabulary in your class, maybe you're picking colors that are meaningful to your students. I'm just picking my 4 colors for my quadrants. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to Shape, and it's the circle with the square in the back. I'm going to go to Shapes. I'm going to click this kind of rounded rectangle, and I'm going to just make a rectangle for the middle. Click on it, and I'm going to leave the background color this color, and I'm going to leave it alone. And now I'm going to label my boxes. You can label it however you like to unpack vocabulary, but for my purposes, I like to label it this way. So I'm going to go to my font that I like. I like to label it Definition. Just going to make it a little bit bigger. 20 font. This box, I like to do characteristics. And characteristics for students, maybe I'm looking in and around the word and I'm teaching them to look for anything they notice about the word. The bottom left-hand corner, I like to have them create a sentence for the word. And my last box, I like it. I'm just hitting the space button to move it over to the right-hand corner. You could change the color if you want. You can choose to do whatever you want here. And there you have it. You now have a template that you can download to put into your Jamboard. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You ready? You're going to go up to File, Download, and you're going to click JPEG image, current slide. And there you have it. Now you can go to a new Jamboard by clicking on your waffle, going over to Jamboard, clicking on the plus button, and now you're going to go to Set Background, Image, and you're just downloaded JPEG. You're just clicking on it and pulling it into the box. Now you have this beautiful template to work on for your students who need better access to doing some vocabulary. So let's go over some of these options right now. So now that I have this nice template, I'm going to put one of the words that I had before, and it was query. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger so I have it here for students. So maybe we're going to be working on a definition together for this word, or maybe we're taking the definition from the actual lesson. Going back to the actual lesson, we have the definition of query equals a question. So we could put the definition as question. Some characteristics of the word. In query, if I look in the word, I see Q-U-E, the first three letters of question. So I could even put that the characteristics are Q-U-E to help remind me that it's asking a question. And again, you're guiding students to do this. Maybe you want to walk them through the first one or walk them through the vocabulary in order to set them up for independent work by doing this with one of the Articles of Confederation. The next thing I'm going to do is I could put it in a sentence. So maybe you're using the word query as it was in You'll Be Back, the lyrics from Hamilton. And another thing that I like to do with my students is I like them to come up with their own sentences to use the word. So I give them the example from what we see in the text, and here the text is the video. And I want them to come up with their own sentences. And last but not least, they can search for pictures. I want them to find a picture for this word so that they're ready to refer to it. So they can do this by going to Google Image Search and typing in query. We can even put clip art. Sometimes the pictures that come up in Jamboard aren't the best. And again, we see question mark, question mark, question mark coming up. So they can even put question mark and just have that picture of the punctuation as an example for the word query. Now, here comes another way that you can use this. You can have students who need a little bit more support work with in a small group with you or a paraprofessional, or maybe they're doing this on their own in a small group with 2 or 3 partners. You can make one slide, a Jamboard slide for them with one of the Articles of Confederation. So let's look at this together. We're going to pick one out together, and then we're going to put it in our Jamboard. States can choose their own military leaders. So I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to go into mine that I already have set up, and I'm going to click on that center box and put a text box, and I'm going to just paste it in here for my students. So now, defining this, what does it mean? What does it mean that states can choose their own military leaders? Maybe you're guiding them to think about this, because the Articles of Confederation are really heavy for some students. Even when they're simplified, they're still difficult for students to comprehend. So using the Frere model like this can really help students guide their understanding of each article. And again, you could do this in a small group. You can do this, have them do this independently instead of the asynchronous work that was given for them, just so they're given a little bit more support. Or maybe you're having students do this with you in a small group. I hope this has been helpful to help you come up with some ideas for small group and scaffolding the instruction to have an access point for students who need that extra level of support with comprehension.